What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. If you're coming back, if this is your first time, welcome. Today I want to do a moto vlog, my first one. We're just going to do a little bit of in-town riding around my local town. Just talking about some of the things I've done to the bike and maybe some other stuff along the way. I don't know, it's my first moto vlog. And then we're going to go out to the countryside of Mexico because I downloaded an app that has a 0 to 60 timer, quarter-mile timer, and stuff like that. So I don't know how accurate it is, but we can give it a shot and just maybe give you guys a rough idea of how fast this bike is. Let's hop on it. Backlash written on me, card rubbing on a glass bowl, I've been balling. Today I just want to do a quick moto vlog talking about some of the things I've done this bike. Real quick, funny story. So this is my local golf course. Super nice and everything, but I was actually going the opposite direction one day and a golf ball flew this close in front of me in the bike. I pulled over and picked up the ball and waited for the guy to show up. Luckily they were super apologetic and were really nice about it, so it turned out pretty good. But you know, I was a little bit sketched out driving past the golf course, not gonna lie. So some of the things I've done on this bike. So I haven't actually done a whole lot to it visually and stuff like that. It's already looks so great. Not a lot I want to do there, but I've done a few things. The very first thing I've done was I got a radiator guard for this bike. So just being a naked bike, it doesn't really have any fairings or anything blocking the radiator from chips and stuff like. Well, hold on. What is that? Wow. Okay, I don't know what is wrong with people that want to have fake animals, but to have deer of all fake animals, that's terrible. I'm terrified of deer. I nailed one in my car last winter and cost, you know, a pretty penny for insurance to fix. Being on a bike, this area has the most deer I've ever seen compared to back in Missouri where I'm from. So yeah, I'm actually pretty terrified of hitting a deer on a bike. So I got a radiator guard for this. Like I said, just being a naked bike, it's a real easy opportunity for things to hit the radiator. I didn't really want it to get damaged. Got the radiator guard. One, I think it looks really good, and two, not only does it have protection, but I think it makes it just a little bit easier to wipe that area down and clean it off. I'm not have to worry about messing with the fins or anything and damaging those. So that's why I got that. Another thing I got is, of course, any motorcyclists out there, I hope you have one of these. If you're a motorcyclist, you're bound to be a little superstitious just because your life is literally like on the line every time you go out and ride one of these. Not that they're especially dangerous, but there's just so many factors you got to take into consideration, and you don't have the safety features of a car, and that is one of those guardian bells, biker bells, gremlin bells, whatever you want to call them. I actually have two of them. One from when my family got one from my previous bikes, one from a friend of mine that I went and visited. Funny story, when I went to buy this bike, I actually went to go show this bike off to him. So I was in town, just bought the bike. I was like, you know what? I want to go show this bike off, see how he's doing and everything, catch up on life. So I was like, hey, bought this bike, mind if I come over? And he's like, sure, man, come on over. I hadn't even been to his house yet. I go over to nearby town to his nice neighborhood house, and as I'm pulling up, his garage was open and I see there's a motorcycle inside. I was like, dude, no way, you had a bike. And he's like, starts looking at me, then he starts looking at me really funny, like he's just staring at me as I'm pulling up. I was like, what's up, man? And he's like, nice bike. Like, I'm sorry, did my bike offend you? This is kind of how I felt. And then next thing I know, he turns away, starts walking into the garage, and starts pulling his bike out. I'm like, wait a minute, that tail looks really familiar. He's pulling out, he has the exact same bike as I do. He's got a 2019 CB650R that he bought at the exact same place about a week prior. I had no idea. I think the VIN is only like 4 or 5 apart. It's just kind of really funny that happened. You know, just a testament for someone else bought this bike because it's amazing. He got me a gremlin bell. A superstition is they, you know, help keep the gremlins, goblins, whatever you want to call them, road demons, off your bike, trap them in the bell, and it knocks them off your bike. And the luck is doubled if someone gives to you as a gift. So that was really cool. I have those attached to the bike. I have a rear seat illuminator, so one of those covers that goes over the rear seats. I ordered that like 4 months ago, and I only got it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It came from overseas, so it took a really long time. Plus, you know, with the virus going around, altogether, I was waiting quite a while to get that in. But finally came in. I was kind of worried about, you know, maybe the paint not matching, but it actually matches this deep red really nicely. I think people that have the CBR 650R, the bright red, didn't match too well when they got it, but as far as I could tell, that deep red matches perfectly fine with me, so I'm happy with it. I've just got my phone holder, so this is my second one. Holy crap, I think that was a groundhog maybe? Dang, that thing was chunky. So this is my second phone holder. The first one I had was those Ram X mounts that has like the giant claw clamps. And I originally got that. I mean, I've seen everyone using those, so I was like, I'll just go with the flow. And the one I've got now is the Quad Lock, and I saw an advertisement for it, but it was like $30 to $40 more expensive. Well, I got that phone mount, that Ram X mount, and at first, you know, I was a little sketched out, but it seemed to do the job all right. But after, you know, getting on it a couple times, twice, it almost fell out. Like, it literally leaned forward out of the mounts, and the bottom two clamps were barely holding it in twice. After that, I was like, nope, I'm not risking it. I was like, you know what, that Quad Lock looks, you know, like a solid choice, so I got it. How it works is it's got like it comes with a case for your phone specifically, so the device locks into place on the back side of your phone, and it just literally snaps in, and it is super solid. All the parts are tightened down with Allen wrenches. I mean, you can get different accessories to mount it different ways, but it is super solid. And then you just push down on that blue tab there, it literally just comes right off. I mean, it's fantastic. And also what I really like about it is it's so clean looking. It's nowhere near as large as that Ram X mount was. So I really just love, you know, how to clean up the bike too. I got the charging cable. I just went to Revzilla and got the, you know, battery hookups for that, and the, you know, connects, and it literally was super easy. You know, being a naked bike, I didn't have a lot to take off, and I just kind of hit the charging cable underneath it and went to Target and got a normal charging cable. So, and it literally just does a fantastic job charging the bike. And I've had zero issues of, you know, the battery draining. So, oh, of course, I've got the fender eliminator for this bike. So I've got the Yoshimura fender eliminator, and at first I was like really excited to get it. It looked really good. Installed it, was great. Literally had it for less than a day. I go for a ride and I get back home, hop off the, you know, make sure everything's right, and it's got a dent on the bottom. It's literally just didn't U-shape, so it was clearly hit my tire at some point. I was like trying my best to think of when that could have happened, and I could not for the life of me think of any point when I was riding where I hit a hard enough bump that should have made my back tire jump up so drastically and hit that fender. Try to bend it out, I tried to bend it out more, but it just kept happening and happening to the point where I was like, this isn't going to work. So I had to do a little bit of DIY. Chop it down some, clean it up a little bit, and just bend the license plate up. It would stop hitting the tire, and that's worked. I mean, I haven't had issues since I did that, and I think it looks really great, and I thought it looked great before I did all that. But, you know, I don't know if I just maybe got one that was angled wrong, or maybe there's just something wrong with it. I don't really know, and I'm not trying to bash Yoshimura because I know they make an amazing exhaust and other fender eliminator kits and stuff. You're looking at getting one for this particular bike or the CB650R. I would probably recommend maybe looking somewhere else. Again, not trying to bash them, but I just didn't have the best experience myself. And I think that's it as far as all the kind of modifications I've done this bike so far. Other than that, I want to get rid of these mirrors for some bar-in mirrors to clean that up. I want to get some different levers. Just, you know, I've never liked to stock levers on any bike that I've owned. So I don't know if I want to get like full-length ones or shorty levers. I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking some black ones or some, you know, gloss black or something along those lines. I don't know. If you want to comment in the comments below what you guys think I should get for levers, let me know. But that's about it. Oh, actually, I got a screen protector. I don't know if you can see there. I got like a little air bubble above the miles per hour that for the life of me I could not get out of there. And I'm not like a perfectionist, so it didn't bother me that much, honestly, to get that. I don't even know if there's a really good purpose for that. I just saw someone else had that modded on there, and it was relatively inexpensive, so I got it and I put it on there. So just that extra layer of protection for the bike. I tell you what though, it's a beautiful day to be out riding about. I mean, you can see the people walking. I think it's right at about 75 degrees out. Have my jacket on without the liner, and it just feels amazing. So I just knew I had to get this bike out, and just wanted to do some vlogging. I've got to behave through this little section here. That is the town police or sheriff's department, one of those. So I think it's the police department. Fancy looking building. Probably write a lot of tickets. I don't want one. I think the biggest thing I'm really wanting to do this bike is get an exhaust for it. It's just so quiet. I mean, it still sounds good, for as quiet as it is, especially when you're getting on it. What I love about the inline fours is just how they sound, and their high revving engines, and I'm just not getting that full experience that I want out of this exhaust. I mean, I like how the stock exhaust looks, actually. It's really clean looking, but it's just so quiet. So definitely want to get that. Unfortunately, it's got to be a full exhaust system, so it's going to be pricey. Then you got to get a tune and all that. I haven't really made up my mind on which one I want to go with yet. Not like there's, you know, a mountain load of options out there, but there's a few, anywhere from the Kropovich. I don't think I'll go with that one. Just not the biggest fan of how that one looks. There's the Leo Vinci. I think that's how it's pronounced. That one looks really good, actually, but it's, again, it's pretty pricey, and it's like one of the full side exhausts. So like this one's kind of sat underneath the bike and really kind of small and compact looking. The Leo Vinci comes up and attaches to your passenger peg. If I wanted to take all my passenger pegs, I wouldn't be able to do that with that exhaust. And then I looked at some random ones. I can't even think of their name. They're like weird numbers and names and stuff that looks really cool, but you know, they're cheaper, not, you know, maybe a little sketch. I don't know. So I'm leaning at this point towards the Leo Vinci, but if you guys have any suggestions, or, you know, want to throw anything out there on what I should get, like I said, just drop a comment below and hit that like button too. Much appreciated. Wait to get exhaust with this bike and just really like scream. I'm sure my neighbors won't appreciate it as much, but hey, you know what? Maybe they'll love it. That could be the flip side, you know. You gotta stay positive sometimes. Maybe they love the sound of this bike too, and they're looking at it all sad like, man, I wish that bike was louder. One can hope, right? A little back and forth action going here. So this bike is really nimble. Way more nimble than I originally thought it would be. Really would love to take this bike on a track someday. There's not a track near me that I can find. If you want to see someone doing a track day on this, you can check out Yammy Noob. Yeah, he takes this bike to a track day and really seemed to enjoy it. So I feel like I'm missing out, but you know what? Maybe one of you guys picks this bike up and goes to a track, and you can fill me in on how great it is. That'd be pretty awesome. I think there's probably a local drag strip around here I can do quarter-mile times at officially, and I'll eventually go to that probably sometime next summer, because I think this summer they're just closed down because of the whole coronavirus. So hopefully they're still around and I can take it to them. By then, maybe, just maybe, I'll have the full exhaust and everything on this bike too. Something else that I look forward to getting the exhaust is I want to take this and get this dyno tuned. And one of the YouTuber I watch, I can't think of his name right now, does a lot of dyno tuning of motorcycles, and it's really cool to see because he really explains how these bikes from the factory get just kind of gutted. They really cut the throttle, and you can feel on this bike too, between like the 4,000 to 6,000 RPMs, it's a dead spot. I mean, it's still pulling, but there's a vast difference between before and after that. And I don't know, so I don't know why Honda gutted it right there, but you can see it on a lot of the bikes he goes and flashes the ECUs and does tuning on. They're definitely restricted at different gears and different throttle positions and RPMs. It's crazy. And then that's what I think is like the best part about tuning too, is not so much the power you get out of it, because you definitely can get some power numbers, probably more so out of the thousands and stuff than these, you know, 600s, 650s. But it's, you really, I think, open up the throttle throughout the rev range versus a normal ECU. I know videos do a terrible job like demonstrating, you know, how fast these accelerate, how it feels and all that. It's just one of those things you have to get on the bike and experience yourself. But you know, and this bike still has a lot of fun, still accelerates really hard, don't get me wrong, still plenty of fun, but just be cool to see what it's like after I get it tuned. I never get sick of seeing this view though. It's really cool to get to drive over this dam and just check this view out. It's really pretty. There's just something about being on a motorcycle and seeing scenery like this. You really feel like you're a part of it almost. Me personally, I don't get that experience when I'm in a car. I mean, sometimes I could care less about the scenery, but being on a bike, everything just seems better. I don't know, that's just me. All right, got a nice little road here. Let's see, let's open up the app here and see what kind of times I can get GPS based. And I think you just open it, it's good to go right then and there. So Right, did a little disclaimer, I am no professional dragster, no professional racer or anything like that, so chances are you guys can probably get better times than me, but we'll just give it a shot. All right, what did we get here? So it looks like we did 0 to 60 according to this in 5.5 seconds at 472 feet. I don't know really good comparisons, but I'll probably look up a 600cc sport bike and see what theirs is and maybe throw it up in the video. But the quarter mile 12.1, honestly I think that's pretty good. Oh, check out that dog. What's up, dog? Anyway, but a 12.1 being, you know, as bad as I am at launches and things like that, I don't think that's that bad. I know you could get this bike with an optional quick shifter, which I'm sure would help that time by maybe a 0.1 or 0.2 seconds. So same thing with the 0, maybe not the 0 to 60. You first gear basically gets you there, maybe right at the beginning of second gear. So overall, not bad. All right, got in a nice another little stretch of road. Apologize about the sun, but I'll hit the reset button. All right, I think we're ready to go. Try it again. Don't know, don't think it worked that the way it's supposed to that time. Yeah, I don't think it worked. Yeah, like I said, I don't think this is the best app in the world. Something else you guys might be wondering, and I know I kind of talked about some in my review, for those people out there that on occasion, like myself, like to bring up the front tire. Yeah, I had to do it. Another disclaimer, I'm not a stunt rider, so I'm not very good at it, but I just wanted to kind of show you that yes, this bike can do wheelies. Can do it in first gear pretty easily. Second gear, I think if you're really trying or doing a stand-up, you can probably do it pretty easily. But yeah, just like I said, I just want to show you that it is capable on occasion in a safe, closed course in Mexico. It can do a wheelie. As far as stoppies go, I don't know. I don't mess with those. Those sketch me out. Good news, if I wreck, there's an ambulance there to save me right away. Alright guys, I think that basically wraps up the video. Like I said, I just want to, you know, do my first moto vlog, talk a little bit about the bike, and just have a good time. So if you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Like you know, really picking this up as a hobby, and you know, want to share my experience with this bike with everyone else. So stay tuned. Some things I want to do in the near future, hopefully before the season gets too cold. I actually don't live too far from some larger cities such as Detroit, Chicago, and I'm actually pretty close to Indianapolis. And I've never actually taken a bike to a larger city like those. So I want to kind of go to those big cities and see what it's like on this bike in those bigger cities. I'm sure it's not that different than like I'm riding now, but I think it'd be really cool to just experience being in a big city like that on a bike. So stay tuned. Catch you guys later.